Shoot! Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now, kind of roughly this time last year, I received from Carry the Daybreaker backpack, which is a light, everyday 25 litre backpack that's designed for your day breaks. You know, whether you're out in the city, whether you're out in the woods like this, you can take it with you and do whatever you need to do with the bag. So here is my original Carry Daybreaker, and this is the pack that I took with me when I went on a family holiday to Turkey, and it performed exactly how I expected it to perform. As mentioned, you know, nice and light, perfect 25 litres, which is just the absolute sweet spot for an everyday backpack. There were just a couple of things. Now, I don't like to say negatives because I certainly don't think there's a lot of negatives to add about things, but there were a few things that I just thought it'd be really nice if they changed or just updated. So they did. This is the Daybreaker 2. So they've took an already very good backpack and just updated it ever so slightly, and I think that's what will be useful for this. This will be hopefully useful for you because the similarities between the two packs are high. You know, they're essentially the same pack, but they've just made some quality of life updates to this to turn it into the perfect pack. So at this point, I just want to say a massive thank you to Carry for sending me this pack. Full disclosure, you know, they did send it to me, but I have a very good relationship with them, and if I didn't like it, then I would tell you that, and I do that with all of the content that I make. So huge thank you for sending this to me, but for now, let's take a closer look at the Carry Daybreaker 2. Okay, now to start off with, just in case you're unsure, the grey version that I have here, this is the Daybreaker. The green version that I have here, this is the Daybreaker 2. So as far as similarities are concerned, they're pretty much identical. Materials, the original one was available in X-Pack. It was also available in Cordura. This is available in X-Pack and Cordura. The black version is the Cordura version. They're both 25 litre packs, both coming in roughly at about half a kilo. This one is exactly half a kilo, whereas this one's just an extra little bit more, comes in just over 600 grams. As I say, yeah, pretty much identical. So they both have, actually, I'll leave a link here so that you can see more on this, but mainly single compartment. You have a bottle pocket here on the side, grab handles left, right and at the top, AquaGuard zips, and there is also an additional pocket here on the side for putting your valuables into there. The Daybreaker 2 has those same features. So here on the right hand side, which I actually have my mobile in there, in fact I'll put that in my pocket because I'll forget where I put that, but you can fit a large bottle into here, and you can definitely fit a large bottle. So rather than just being like maybe like a standard bottle of Coke or something, this does have a bit of elastic here on the side, so it will open out. Pockets here on the side as well, in case you want to put any valuables with a little key stay, and then the same as far as grab handles top and on the right and all around there. Now the differences, some of them are quite subtle. So first one being, well actually I suppose this is possibly the largest and main difference. If I bring this one back again. So to open this up, you have your two AquaGuard YKK zippers, and they come down roughly to maybe a quarter of the way down. It just meant that the opening for this was reasonably tight if you wanted to be able to get things into here. The way that they've changed this, so as you pull the zipper down here, just on this side, it stops at roughly the same place, about a quarter of the way down, whereas on this side it now comes pretty much to the bottom, or maybe 3/4 of the way down. So when this opens out, you have to excuse what I've got in here. I've just put some random things in just to fill this up. But being able to get into here, being able to get to stuff that's maybe closer to the bottom is a lot easier than it was on the original one, where with it coming down to here, if it was a small item and you were having to get it, you kind of had to do that thing where you're trying to find the lucky number from a tombola. But with this, it just makes it a whole lot easier to be able to get to things. Some of the other things are, as I mentioned, they really are subtle changes. So on the original one, you also had this easy access pocket here, but rather than being a long zip that you get across the top, it was a small zip that just came down the side. I'm guessing the idea for that was because this would fold down like that, everything would, possibly fall out. So they had that zip here so that you could get in. Whereas with this one, it's opening wider now, they've changed the orientation of this zip, which it's actually, I prefer it like this, even if it does come down like this, because if you know that you've got something in there, you're just going to make sure that you keep hold of that. And it's this nice mesh as well, so that you can see through it if you're trying to find which pocket you left something in. Some other subtle changes. So on the inside, there is a little hook, or at least some webbing here at the top, so that you can hang things from if you need to. But what they've also done is they've added some additional ones here at the side. Again, just in case there's something that you want to be able to put in here, or maybe have lashed on the sides again rather than at the top. On the right hand side, or I guess whichever way you're looking at this, there's now a new internal pocket here. So you still have this external pocket, which has its own membrane within here, or its own liner. It doesn't double up into this additional pocket that's here on the side. So if you want to put your valuables here on the outside, and then maybe you want to put a bottle, or if you're doing day breaks, maybe it's a city break and you have a small umbrella fits perfectly into here. Now that this whole section opens up more, it's a lot easier to be able to get in and out, to be able to get whatever's stored in this pocket. And as I say, it's all internally lined as well, especially through the back and through this side, and that lining is used for the separation between the external pocket and the internal pocket that's here. The front actually doesn't have any lining on here, and it's quite nice to be able to see the back of this X-Pack material, mainly because if I can get this, hopefully, yeah, that's a perfect shot there. You can see it glimmering in the sunlight. So X-Pack was developed, and I always get this the wrong way around. It was either developed by the Germans and made in America, or it was developed by the Americans and made in Germany. But this is often referred to as sailcloth. So when you see in the Olympics where you have the regattas and all of that sort of stuff, this is the material that they use. Incredibly strong. The tenacity of this material is very high. But also, because of the way that it's created and the materials that are used within it, it already naturally has quite a high hydrophobic quality. So, and again, with this, hopefully you can see the glimmer on there. Anything that gets wet on the outside, the water just brushes off it for the extra protection on the inside. Now the last little bit on the inside, which again is just another subtle thing. So at the top you'll see that there are, hopefully you'll be able to see that there are two pulls here. The one at the top is the same on the original one. So on here you have a sponge liner on the inside just to give it a little bit of rigidity, but then underneath there is a second one which gives you access to another easy access pocket should you need it. And this again is another addition over the original one. Now the last little bit, and I say little bit, in fact I'm going to go back to the original one for this. So the back panel on the original, The way in which this was designed, and it still is designed, is that this pack is very minimal and nice and light. In fact, it's so minimal, in fact, that if you wanted to, you could roll this up and just throw it into another pack. When I went to Turkey, this is exactly how I used it. I had this on the bottom of my suitcase, and it just took up next to no room whatsoever. But this back panel doesn't have any padding or any sort of air grooves on there. It's just a simple piece of this X-Pack material. Now, as we just looked at the X-Pack material in the other one, and we mentioning about the hydrostatic qualities of this, any water that gets off this, it doesn't soak in, it just runs off. So in the summer in Turkey, with little to no ventilation in here, it got incredibly hot. So fast forward to the Daybreaker 2, and they've put some additional ventilation in here. Hopefully if you can see as I move this around. So there are 2 additional pieces of foam, and it's quite a high quality closed, what's it called? Closed something foam. Anyway, so yes, so you have these panels in here. It's still incredibly flexible. If you wanted to put this into something, you can do. If you want to take everything out, lay it flat, you can do that as well. But now this will give you an extra little bit of freedom through the back to allow air to be able to get into there, to then keep it a little bit more ventilated, so that if you are concerned about warm environments, that you should be fine. But other than that, it's got these really nice straps. You've got a sternum strap, and as far as how it carries immensely well. It carries exactly the same as the original one, because as I mentioned a few times, these really are the same pack. But what Able Carry have done is they've looked at and they've listened to the feedback, and they've implemented the changes, and as I say, they really are quality of life changes. If you have the original, you might look at this and think, well, actually, no, there's not enough there that I feel that I need to upgrade. But if you are new to this and you think, I'm going to pick one of these up, then yeah, you're definitely getting an excellent pack. So now, just to be 100% clear, the Able Carry Daybreaker is a great bag. It really is a great bag, and it still is a great bag. The Able Carry Daybreaker 2 is an awesome bag, and I think the quality of life amendments, the adjustments that they've made to this really has took it up to that next level. You might say it's at the level that it should have been, or I don't know. I think with a lot of iterations of packs and things like that, generally it takes more. Sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees. In my line of work, I work in the creative field, where you'll look at something, you'll spend 3 or 4 days working on a creative piece, and you'll think it's amazing, then you show it to somebody else and they go, what about this? Have you thought about this, haven't you? You're going, oh, I've been staring at this now for 5 days and I didn't even think about that. And it takes a lot to be able to go, do you know what, we put this out and it is the best that we did at that time, but with some feedback we've realised, actually, yeah, that's a great idea, we should do this. And I certainly doff my cap to Able Carry for being able to do that, and to take, as I mentioned, an already amazing pack and turn it into this next level amazing pack. Now, as always, so I will make sure that I leave the links below so that you can see more from Able Carry. I'll also leave some of my social media links below. And yeah, get outside, enjoy the wilderness, or I guess unless you live in a city, and see if you can go and find a nice park or something. But for now, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. I don't know where I was going with that bit, last bit. I don't think my meds have kicked in yet. Struggling with my words. Carry, because Carry, you know, they really are one of my favourite backpack makers out there. I don't think there's anything that I've had that I really have just detested. Should I say that? Oh shit, my fucking arse bollocks. Let's go again. I just feel like I'm so far away. Shoot! Hi. I'm the Moorlander. Oh, I just had difficulty picking up my bag then for a second. Let's hold it a little bit closer and higher up. Oh well. So, when there are people walking past, I still get embarrassed. You know, you get these TikTokers that are in like the middle of Tesco dancing and doing stupid stuff, and you're like, I don't know, what sort of level of arrogance do you have to get in people's way whilst they're shopping? I genuinely still get embarrassed when people walk past, because I'm like, oh god, look, those people probably think I'm an idiot talking to a camera. Stupid bloody YouTubers. Yeah, so there you go. Now where were we?